It's Friday, late night on September 16th, 2022. This is the Soapbox. This is the after show that starts out as a live stream slash Patreon exclusive slash early access experience where our fans can just come and hang out with us if they are willing to on a Friday night. It's a weird time. And we just chat with my co-host. I'm Dennis, by the way, and we just chat with my co-hosts and guests on that. We're just done recording the Den Excelsior Mostly Marvel podcast show. That show airs every Friday night at 8 o'clock Pacific. And this is the show that comes afterwards where we just kind of hang out and talk about all the things that are nerdy that we couldn't talk about or the things we forgot to talk about on the previous show. And then we just also talk about whatever else is going on in our nerdy worlds. So yeah, thanks for joining us. If you're joining us live, thanks for hanging out, and feel free to chat with us in the comment section. If you're joining us not live, that's cool too. I'm glad you found us, and I recommend trying to check out the patreon.com/genxmedia to see all the other stuff that we're offering there. One of the things that we talked about today was the Hasbro HasLab crowdfund for Marvel Legends Ghost Rider. It's a giant car for Robbie Reyes, and I mentioned how one of the things I like to do is track the analytics of crowdfunds from Hasbro and see kind of like do some predictive graphs and stuff to kind of guess where the thing will end up, because there's so many lounge critics, or I guess or couch critics is the word I wanted to go with, that just look at an arbitrary crowdfund and decide, I know whether or not this is going to succeed or not. And I try and do a little bit more by having some more information to support that. But that's one of the things I put up there on Patreon, and along with photography that I do and other stuff. And a lot of it's free. I think one of the only things that we do that's paid content is this show, just because it's really just a time that we set aside to allow people to come and chat with us and just pick our brains about whatever. So yeah, but at any moment now we should be joined by our guest Travis, who's been on the show several times, and he loves sticking around for a while on the Soapbox. And then also we'll be joined by our my co-host on the other show, Ricky. And Ricky was just getting ready to defend why he has not watched Ring of Powers on Amazon Prime after Rings of Power on all the after what I think it's been 4 weeks now, or maybe 4 episodes at least, and he's still hasn't watched it. So we're gonna have to talk about that. But yeah, we also just talked about She-Hulk episode 5 that aired this week, and the season finale of Harley Quinn on HBO Max. And we also talked about all the Marvel news that came out of D23. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, you guys should go check out that other show on YouTube. And it's also available on Twitch and Twitter. But the easiest way to find it's youtube.com/10xmedia. And yeah, but I'm going to guess if you're watching this, you probably already found us there. And other than that, what else has got? What have we got going on in this world lately? I think we had a correction to put out there from the previous episode. Ricky introduced a photo to us from D23 that was showing a new member of the New World Order, I think it is. There's a new movie, a new Marvel movie that is going to be featuring Ke Huy Quan, who is also known as Short Round from Indiana Jones and Wayman from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Oh, he's going to be joining the cast of Loki.
Yeah.
I just found his name because I felt bad. I was just doing the errata on this show to in case we got people that watch both shows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
For you,
crazy
Ian.
cross section. Yeah. For Ian and Dave. His name is Ki Hui Kwan. And if you didn't grow up on Raiders of the Lost Ark or Goonies, I feel
I've
bad for you.
never seen an Indiana Jones movie in full, aside from Crystal Skull.
What? Really?
I will probably concede that I've probably seen Raiders is the first one, right?
No.
Or is the Temple?
Sorry. Raiders is the first one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've
Raiders is the
probably
first one, but
seen
Temple is chronologically before Raiders.
yeah. I've probably seen Temple as a child, but don't remember.
Mm.
But I cannot recall ever watching Raiders
Temple
or
is the
Last
inferior
Crusade.
of the first three, but Short Round like makes that movie memorable. His character is amazing, and there's other moments that make that movie memorable. Don't get me wrong, but like it's him having that sidekick, and then you can't help but always wonder, well, if this movie takes place chronologically before Raiders of the Lost Ark, what the hell happened to Short Round? You never know.
Got tall.
Yeah, he grew up and became Wayman on Everything Everywhere All at Once, and you really need to see that movie, Ricky.
It's on the list. I'm so busy right now.
What else is the list?
School. Oh, like what's on my list of stuff to watch?
Yes.
I want to finish For All Mankind. We did another episode of that one. Episode 2 is great. That show is right up my alley.
Yeah.
Takes me back home. You know, my youth, I was a big NASA person, so just seeing all these like the big conspiracy what if scenario play out in long form is kind of super cool. Reservation Dogs, that's a weekly thing for us. That I think that just ended though.
No. And there's 2 more episodes, I think.
2? That's okay. Last season was 10 episodes, so I thought.
Yeah, there was episode 8 was this week.
Okay. Sorry, last season when 8 was 8 episodes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to be super sad.
But
Travis, have you seen Reservation Dogs? Is his mic not working?
That's it. But I don't have a lot. I mean, football is also back on, so like that consumes a Monday, a Sunday, and a sometimes Thursday.
Nah, Ricky, there's more episodes.
Okay.
There's at least another episode next week.
Good, because that episode was great, but it did not wrap anything up.
Nah, there are 10 episodes this season. I assumed 10, so that's why. I was shocked for a second. I think the eight episodes was probably a COVID thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But anyways, well, sorry, what else? Reservation Dogs, For All Mankind.
For All Mankind, sports.
Okay.
That's it.
That's fair enough. Your priorities are just different.
Yeah, you got.
I appreciate that you're at least making the time for She-Hulk and Harley Quinn and this show. So less shame here. Rings of Power is a long one, but I will say this.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
We can hear you.
My headphones are like freaking out on me.
Okay.
It's okay.
As long as we're not echoing back into the show.
I think we're good.
Are you good?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out. We'll find out later.
All right.
Like I almost feel like at this point I should just wait, right? And just consume all the Rings of Power at once.
I don't think you can consume all of them at once. It's a huge helping every time you watch that show. It's a lot. Like I feel very hooked once I start watching an episode, but when I'm done watching an episode, I'm quite relieved. I'm like, Jesus, that was a lot of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's very dense.
Very
dense. It's fun. It's really fun. I love that.
I actually enjoy that. Like I feel like
getting your money's worth.
Yeah. I mean, and I try not to do this, but it always happens. You compare Rings of Power to House of the Dragon, and I try not to do that. I don't think it's healthy. for the genre. But I would say that House of Dragons, I always feel sort of like I need another 10 minutes. While Lord of the Rings, I am quite satisfied.
Yeah, I feel like the most important 10 minutes of the show is missing from every episode of House of the Dragons. It took you a minute to get that.
Touche. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
I feel
I'm
like
just almost finishing chips too, so
that's fair. I feel unsatisfied. So yes, I get what you're saying. By that show, every time I watch it.
This episode?
What?
Did they get old this episode? Wasn't that the big thing? Or
I
they do a time jump?
I didn't watch it yet, actually. I haven't watched this week's. I don't care if you spoil it, Travis. I'm not.
no.
Okay.
I think it's coming. I think probably
This next episode.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell because they cast so well. I mean, they cast extremely well, right? And so when like she ages up, you're like, what? Where? Huh? What?
Oh, the two actresses that play her.
Yeah.
Okay. That play I forgot her name. See, that's my other problem with that show. I still don't remember their names. Like, I remember their names in Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? Like, they make it a point of you remembering their names.
Yeah, you get there. You get there with both of them. Rhaenyra is
Rhaenyra. Thank you.
Yeah. And I did that without looking it up, by the way.
It's cool.
Yeah. I'm faster than you, Ricky.
I don't think I'll get into House of Dragons.
Well, you didn't watch Game of Thrones.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
So this happens before Game of Thrones. So how about that?
I mean, I'm not a high fantasy person.
Huh?
Lord of the Rings is like the outlier to that.
Now, I was waiting for you to say something like supremely ignorant like that tonight, actually, Ricky, because Lord of the Rings is the modern template for every fantasy that you see. So if you like Lord of the Rings, you by default like all the other stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. He didn't believe. I tried to convince him last week that the Star Wars he's been loving is fantasy.
It is.
It's not. Is it high fantasy?
Yes.
Yes.
I can get more granular.
Hold on.
I'll
what the
if
fuck is a crate dragon?
If I'm not using the right terminology.
Wait, there's a princess, right?
Yeah.
There's a knight.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. There's a black
who
knight.
just so happen to be wizards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obi-Wan.
Oh, I mean, if you consider Darth Vader to be the Black Knight, you know, what I mean? He's like
Knight.
I just like the sci-fi lens over it, you know.
Huh?
But there's no science in Star Wars. There's no science.
Not really.
Like even the explosions.
Blaster,
don't make sense
you know, I like a good ray
happen.
gun, a good laser. You don't get a lot of that.
That's not science. That's
broken sci-fi.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Then I like tech-based fantasy.
That's fair.
Okay.
Like cyberpunk.
Sure. Cyberpunk's up my alley. What's the game? Shadow something?
Which one are you talking about? Shadowrun?
Shadowrun.
Yes, Shadowrun. Yes.
Okay.
High tech.
But Shadowrun has
orcs. Shadowrun is fantasy as well.
Yeah, Shadowrun
has orcs. They have tech.
And dragons.
Warhammer 40K. Cool. Cool as shit. I don't like Skyrim. I like Fallout.
I think what it is Ricky likes the idea of dungeons, but doesn't like the idea of no toilets and electricity.
Yeah. I need my fantasy to have electricity. That needs to be something that they have figured out in their world.
And he doesn't want to poop in the hole.
Yeah, I don't want to poop in a hole.
Fair enough.
But Lord of the Rings is I was all about, that was my childhood. Peter Jackson, original trilogy. I read The Hobbit as a kid. Like, if I'm going to pick one, I'm going to pick Lord of the Rings. But the time sink is just not something I have time for right now. Yeah.
I just don't believe that shit when people say that.
The time?
Make time for things you want.
True. It's true. He just wants something else more than Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I just want to graduate school more than to watch Lord of the Rings.
Now, you see, that's kind of cheating, though, right? It's cheating.
You still have to have fun when you're going to school.
No, I mean, it's cheating because he could technically like slide that into everything. You know what I'm saying? No.
I don't want to. I
Yeah,
want to not do my homework.
On
I
tonight's
actively
episode,
consider it every day.
on tonight's episode of the Soapbox, Dennis and Travis convinced Ricky to drop out of school so that he can watch TV.
I mean,
what's that diploma gonna do for you, homeboy?
Yeah.
If you don't know about Isildur,
Okay.
oh,
And then
man.
Dio.
So
You know
I
what
gotta.
I'm saying? He was just dropping name bombs the whole time.
Yeah.
You're like, Isildur. You're like, oh snap, it's him.
Yeah,
It's him.
and that's the funniest thing,
Lindio.
Travis.
What?
like-
That's you, my dude. What?
That's the
You
funniest thing about this is like a few weeks ago when you were asking me if I'm excited about this, and I said, no, I'm not. I'm not excited about prequels. But like it doesn't mean I won't like it. I'm just not excited about it yet, right? So it was one of those, I'll watch it and I'll see if I like it. But like I went into the show saying, you're gonna have a hard time convincing me that I want to enjoy watching entire stories about Elrond and Galadriel, you know? And then I watched the episode and I was like, fuck, these characters are amazing. And now I'm remembering how much more stuff I knew about Lord of the Rings that I had buried. And I think it's because of the way I absorbed the Lord of the Rings was so unique. I don't do it very often, but I read the books for the first time. Each year that the movie came out, I read one book and finished the book 5 minutes before going to the movie theater.
Wow.
So I absorbed it both like, you know, through reading and then through visually seeing it each time. And each time I waited a year to do the next one. So I have this very photographic memory of
That's
that
nice.
story.
That's nice.
That's gross and weird. And I forget things that I knew until I started watching this show. And I was like,
oh yeah.
oh, wait.
Oh yeah.
Why do I know these names? You know, like and
you know,
the only thing else I've ever done like that is Sandman.
oh
I read the first volume right before watching the show.
wow.
And so now that shit's burned in my brain forever.
Yeah.
Wow. So
I can tell you that it was an amazing experience to be in a movie theater, seeing the Lord of the Rings trailer, when they had the shot where you know, the characters passed over the ridge, and you're like, that's Legolas, dude, that's Gimli, that's Aragorn, you know, like holy shit, it's Gandalf. Like it's like you only get one shot at that. And I think it's cool that this series, like, you know, I'm saying, you know, tapping my lady, and I'm like, that's Isildur. And it's like, who? He chops off his hand, his you know, his finger, and you know, and this sword, and you know, and she's like, what? And I'm like, I'm telling you, it's the dude. Like, that's a ring wraith. That dude's a ring wraith. You know, like that stuff is just amazing and cool, and I can't get enough of it in the show. I can't get enough.
It's pretty smart of them, you know. Obviously, I think the Lord of the Rings IP was in flux for like a hot minute after the movies, but I feel like they could, if they wanted to, we could have had a Lord of the Rings Amazon Netflix streaming show 8 to 10 years ago, right? But I felt like by waiting, you know, you're doing a little bit more justice to kind of get into the nitty gritty, give it its own space. I think they're doing a really good job by separating it from the movies in the way that they're doing it, so that it's its own thing, but it's pulling from what, you know, you just have the little hooks all you need, but it's definitely given the ability to
Well,
stay in
it's
its own lane.
it's like Travis said, like it's the template for modern fantasy, right? So like, who is to say that it looks different from the movies, and who is to say that it can't look different from the movies too if it wants to, right? It can. It's freaking Lord of the Rings, so it's
I
all gonna look. It's gonna look like Lord of the Rings, period.
and it's done by Weta.
Yeah,
So who did all the other stuff? So they have those assets, right?
yeah.
So
But they also did
um,
several of the Hulks, didn't they?
I'm sorry.
They also did several of the Hulks, didn't they?
Well,
They gotta keep the
listen.
lights on.
No, honestly, like hardly any movie
Yeah,
gets the same VFX crew for the whole thing.
yeah,
It's almost humanly impossible. So they could have and just did all the shots you loved and none of the shots you didn't love.
yeah.
That being said, though, like I feel spoiled watching Lord of the Rings. I'm just like, man, like to live in an age where they can do this so elegantly and so beautifully, like it's an embarrassment of riches as far as I'm concerned, and I'm like my whole soul is here for it, right? I mean, it's life affirming, honestly.
Agreed. It's pretty nuts. Like every time I watch it, I'm just like, God damn, this is really impressive, and like it's very captivating, and it makes me care about characters that I have no idea who they are. Also, not just the ones that I do know. Like there's just made up characters that I'm like, well, I like this one now too.
Guess they're here.
So, but I just know most of them are gonna die or something bad's gonna happen. But that's okay. That's okay. It's fine.
And shout out to the Black Elves.
I love that they never fail to make sure that the elves are freaking attractive, and there's no difference for the black elves as well.
None.
Those are quite attractive elves.
Yes. Yeah, he's winning all the beauty contests. For real.
Yeah.
And I drink the haters' tears about, them, hating on a black Latino
or a black mermaid.
Or a black mermaid or any of that shit. I mean, I love it. I love the anger. I love it. Take it.
Yeah.
Take it. But yeah, this, like the Lord of the Rings, I get it 2 times a week, man. And it's about to go into overdrive in a few. Damn.
Well, I mean, you get that. You get Lord of the Rings, and then you get Game of Thrones.
Yes.
We're not gonna say that's the same thing.
What do you
it's
mean?
not the same thing.
That was like the whole argument the first like half hour, wasn't it?
No, but it's not the same thing. I'm saying like
but it's okay. I get to play Final Fantasy, and then get to play Wild Arms.
Fair enough.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You get to have a Domino's pizza, and you get to pizza.
Oh, you get a round table pizza,
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I was trying to give you a chance to weigh in on more of the haters and stuff, but I actually am curious. I did want to ask that question about like how you handle the haters, because I was having fun, with the new excitement of this like HasLab, Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider thing to celebrate the 50th anniversary. I'm excited because I know it's going to get made, right? But like there's so many people whenever Hasbro posts anything that they just start immediately going and hating, right? And like I knew that this one is going to have a little bit harder time than some of the other ones that they've done.
Because it's a Latino hero?
Because it's a Latino hero. It's because it's not the Ghost Rider that most people are familiar with. And because there's so many people that are trying to push this narrative that like corporate America is going woke and it's ruining the products that they create.
I see.
And it's hilarious to me, like all of these things, because it's all nonsense, it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. But like I've been seeing all these people complain about, like, find different ways to complain about it so that they can feel better about that. And so the one that they're also complaining about here is that, like, it's $350. That's just too much for blah 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 blah. And so what I think is really funny is I found this reply that this guy was pointing out there, and he was saying, so you guys want them to sell a full scale car, 6 figures, 2 that come with, like, that come with it, and then 4 stretchable figures with electronic features and a bunch of other plastic parts for $250. So, like, you're saying normal figures are 25, deluxe are 50. If we do some math, you're talking about $200 worth of figures, and you want the car itself with electronic lights and replaceable wheels and all this shit. You want that to be valued at $25 to $50. And his response to all of that was just hilarious, because it's really just, at the end of the day, half of you are just complaining and you're going to end up buying the thing. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then the other half of you are going to be the same people that are whining 2 years from now, asking if anybody's got a loose Mephisto that they want to sell. And so it amazes me, because like I thought that was so tactful the way he put all that while shaming them. And I thought it was really funny, because I was bringing that up to my wife, and she was just talking about how, like, that's the problem with so many of these Marvel fans, is they're so toxic, right? And she's like, and she got really angry about them, because like every time I ever bring something up to her, it's always reminding her about these gross people.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question is, how do you view them, and how do you handle them?
I'm not sure who to attribute this quote to, but when I read it, it stuck with me. And the quote is, when you live your life in privilege, equality appears as oppression. And so that's what's going on. So, so these people who are not, woke is
not a bad word.
Well, first of all, it's not a bad word, but I say that consciousness comes before wokeness.
Yeah.
That shit should be on the conscious level of understanding and not at the woke level of understanding, right? Equality, okay, should be at that level, and it's not, right? For people who are privileged. And so I understand it. I understand how this happens, because let's face it, okay, the main problem with intelligent people is they think that everyone else is. And it's just not true. It's just not true. It's not true.
You're telling me there's dumb people out there, Travis?
I am telling you, they are everywhere, sir. Okay? They just are. Okay? And if that wasn't so, you wouldn't have to say, hey, a stove is hot, don't touch it. All these other like stupid signs that have to be around our whole lives are because there are people who are that stupid, and there are a lot of them, so much so that we, the conscious, not the woke, the conscious, have to figure out like how to take the unconscious people and protect them from themselves. That's the world we live in. It's sad but true.
It is sad. It's sad. Yeah. And it's funny because my wife's like, but aren't these the people that you're trying to make content for? And I'm like, I don't think I have to be making content for those people. I think I'm making content. Like, I believe that I
Unless you
know.
subscribe to the Patreon, then by all means.
Yeah. I believe that, like I have a lot of friends that like things that I like, and I don't consider my friends to be stupid most of the time. Um, and so I gotta believe that there's more people out there that are also annoyed by this kind of discourse that happens all the time, but don't feel angered enough to waste their breath going online to I don't know what, like argue with these people. Like it just feels weird. You know what I mean? Like it
Well, that is.
reminds.
It's a segment, though. You have identified a segment of the population. The question is, what portion of the population are you talking about? I would
Yeah,
guarantee you it is less than 2%.
I feel like that is probably true, but they're just the
Yeah, I
most
mean it's very
vocal
much the
ones,
vocal
right?
minority, right? Like it's
Yeah,
Yeah. And,
it's
and and so that's and the thing about it is like from an entertainment standpoint, okay, the other 98% dollars spent just as nicely as I
right. And see,
right?
that's what I was thinking. Like that's why I was like telling Lindsay I don't really get super annoyed by them, because like the funniest thing about it is that guy was 100% right. Like half of the people that are complaining right now on these threads are gonna go and buy the goddamn Ghost Rider. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
let's be real. It's it out of
Because why are
12,
you here? Why are you here?
yeah,
Like
12
seriously,
hours.
like
12 hours.
why are you here commenting?
I get, you
Exactly.
Unless
know,
you're interested. Like seriously, do
Yeah.
you just stalk shit that you're not interested in?
it's
I
true
don't.
though. Like
Like I've never been on a Barbie site. Like I haven't. Why? I have no interest.
I occasionally do our store's Facebook page for the
Mhm.
company I work for.
Okay.
And it's, we have some fairly limited products. And again, we put something out there, 10 haters. This sucks, overpriced, blah, 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 blah. Like, why are you commenting? Like, you're on our home. You're
Right.
on turf telling us it sucks. And then because it's the power of technology, I can literally see when these people buy it, or when they email me 5 months down the line saying, "Hey, do you still have it?" It's like, come on now. I have receipts that you're full of shit. Like,
It's
and
true.
it's the same thing here. Like, you just
Yeah.
gotta, you learn to just ignore it, because that's all it is. The
But
more you engage with that discourse, the more it continues on.
But the funny thing is like those people really feel the need to be heard, right? Like it's one of the reasons I rarely have people chatting with us on the live stream, right? Is because the ones that do come to chat are the ones that like, I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with the MCU.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you're right. You are insane. Like, and so like it's weird to me that those are the people that choose to be vocal. Like, what is it? What is the value in that to them?
Right? Like, am I gonna read
It's
your
better than
comment?
screaming into a void.
Like, oh no, you're right. This is way too expensive. We're gonna lower the price for you.
Yeah,
Fuck no, dude.
you're
Like,
you're you're right. I should go cancel my purchase of that Ghost Rider because
mm-hmm.
I already bought it. Like, actually, it's already done. It's already done.
Everybody who has heard that asshole in real life doesn't need to follow them into social media.
Yeah.
That's why you get the pleasure of the audience of that kind of guy, because you're a new audience. Everybody else in their life has said no, thank you.
Fair enough.
Every fandom, everything has those people.
Everyone.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But I have been seeing a lot. I mean, to be fair, I know TikTok creates its own like echo chamber in whatever's on your
Yeah.
feed on TikTok. It's been very curated, to stuff that you specifically want to see.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just curious, Travis.
Explains a lot.
Yeah, it's like radicalize somebody right
Yeah.
there.
I'm just curious, Travis, how many of the things I send you do you already get?
I have this sort of love-hate relationship with TikTok, right? Because first of all, it's the Vine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
number one. Okay, number two. I hate it because the videos are in portrait mode. Okay, really hate that. I hate it so much. Okay. And lastly, you know, I just feel like I just want to permanently lurk on TikTok and never really interact. I don't even want to like something. I think, you know, it's almost like it's the social media that I sort of stick my toe in and go, ugh, every time. Now, that being said, I think you more so than anyone else, your videos are the ones that you forward are constant are always hilarious, right? So I would say if someone else just sent me a contact on TikTok just now, you think they heard me from the iPhone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, here's how I know that it's creepy. Like, so last year when I was doing the HasLab tracking for the Galactus, I saw some interesting data because last year I was trying to like form a correlation between like all these live streamers that were getting invited by Hasbro to come and talk about the product, and then the next day you'd see a bump in sales, right? And so I happened to mention to this one podcaster, hey, you earned them like an extra like $500,000 or something, or like, you know, and that's really cool. And so he was really flattered. So he invited me to come on his podcast. Right. And so they do their podcast through they set it up through Discord. And so they have like a backstage green room, you know, like before the show where we hang out. And I was there meeting a guy I've never met before. And he was telling us about this TikTok that he can't stop watching, which was about this guy who likes to go to different places like and fart into things, and then make that feed, like he'll fart into a cup and then he'll put that cup up against the fan and into a ventilation system to like piss off his like boss or whatever, right? He has this relationship with his boss. And like, it's such a very specific thing, Travis, right? Do you know what the first fucking video was the next time I turned on TikTok? Do you know what it was? It was that guy. And I'm like, oh my God, I have no privacy with these machines, dude.
I think it's TikTok in general.
That's why I don't use it.
TikTok is China listening.
But seriously, I was on a podcast with headphones
China
on.
has no internet scruples. They will be all in your applesauce. They don't give a damn.
But you understand, I had headphones on.
Yeah.
How loudly is it listening, or how quietly is it listening, rather?
Again, like my TikTok
hears you.
Signed up for the app, default to butt. All butt content.
Yeah, that's his complaint.
No,
is that every time he goes on there, it's just butts.
Well,
and I'm like, well,
I got it, Ricky. Somehow, you and I are on the same wavelength,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like and you know, actually,
somehow
I didn't swipe, so like, I would get it if I was swiping for it, but just out the gate,
I don't know how I fell into all these butts.
Like it, I can't open it in public. That's how bad it is.
I know.
I have to make sure I have headphones on. Like,
I know, because TikTok basically, I know it's gonna be somebody's booty. Someone is dropping N-bombs. You know what I'm saying? Someone's getting their ass. Someone's getting their ass beat. Like, you know, it's all the things that you're like, ooh, you know, like, yeah, and come on, like, come on, right? Like, it is like the worst parts of your id just being broadcast back at you like 2 minutes at a time. You know what I'm saying? And it's not pretty.
That's why I'm kind of confused, because I'm like, do I want to interact with the people who hate Marvel? because that's what I get in my
That's what
feed.
you're giving them. So
I get tons of people complaining about this week's episode of She-Hulk every week. Every fucking week, dude. That's the worst part about She-Hulk is the next time I go on TikTok, everybody's trying to tell me what's wrong with that show.
there are
And
10
I'm
things
like,
that are wrong
no,
with She-Hulk.
there's nothing wrong with that show.
Well, why
It
do
is-
you keep clicking on them then?
Yeah, you're
They're
in
just
the same boat as
there.
me.
No, they're clicking.
You're just getting butt people, and I'm getting people butt. Like,
Yeah,
Fair
because
enough.
here's the thing, right? Me and Ricky on the same track here. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't seen a She-Hulk like criticism of any kind on TikTok, period.
Damn it.
And don't send me one.
I'm attracting these things.
And don't send me one because I feel like you're gonna fuck up my algorithm.
yeah,
Oh no,
don't
watch
send your shit over
what
here.
happens when what happens but what happens when you both get one? What happens when you both get one and I didn't send them to you?
I fucking throw away my phone. Like,
It's gonna happen.
Speaking
Just
of
like
which,
the guy
anybody got
farting
the
in
new
the-
one?
I bought the new one. I bought the purple one,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want
The
purple
Pro
one.
Max?
I want. Well, I just a Pro.
Okay.
But I meant to order the black one, so I had to cancel my purple one. So now I am back without a phone.
That reminds me of something because like I'm an Android guy, so I don't
Mhm.
I don't care about iPhones. But I do realize when you have an iPhone, you automatically have a subscription to Apple TV.
Mhm.
I'm curious,
Not
Travis, have you
necessarily.
watched For All
Get 1 year.
Mankind?
Yes.
That show is amazing.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
only binged it all like 2 weeks ago.
Yo, the whole thing.
Yeah, I binged it all.
I'm
So what
yet on
happened-
episode 2.
What happened was
you went in an overdrive, son.
so what happened was we had
It's easy with that show too, because like every episode you're like, oh yeah.
we
Fantasy
we
with
were-
electricity.
we thought we
Yeah.
were pretty much done with all the shows we wanted to watch.
Uh-huh.
And then like I was on the free 6-month subscription.
You didn't
through
watch
the
Smigadoon,
PlayStation
did
5.
you?
Yeah, I watched
Okay.
Schmigadoon. I watched it. I watched a lot of things on that app, but we only had the 6-month trial, and like I didn't really want to keep it going. I'm kind of like getting into the habit of like I let apps go for a few months and then come back when they have enough content that makes it worth it for me to watch it.
Sure.
And so Apple, I was like, I'll come back in a year, whatever, it's cool. But it was like 3 days before my thing expired, or 3 or 4 days. I was like, what else is there? I just want to double check. And then I saw this thing and I was like, shit, I've heard this one's pretty good. I'll watch one episode. And I watched one episode.
That show.
And then when that episode ended, I looked at my calendar and I said, can I do this? Do I have the time to do this? I did it. I did it with a day to spare.
Yo. Yo.
That's a no poop.
It was so much For All Mankind.
There's a bucket somewhere in that equation.
Yeah. It
Yo.
was sometimes it was like it was in the background, but I'm listening. You can really
Lindsay
listen to that
say,
show.
like, are you out of your damn mind?
No, it was intense. Like Lindsay, no matter what room I was in, it was always on. Like I could be here on my computer doing stuff and it's over there on my side and I'm like, oh my god, what are they doing now? Like I just it was like that. But that show is phenomenal. And it's the
Battlestar Galactica people.
I know, and Star Trek Next Generation.
Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of why I decided to do it when I saw, oh, it's Ronald Moore. Shit, I have to watch at least one episode of this.
Yeah.
But Ricky just started that on my recommendation. Like, so he's got 2 episodes in. That show is intense. But it's so ambitious too. Like the idea of like, I don't know how it makes me want to cry so much at things that fictionally like happened that did not happen in US history. You know what I mean? Like, because I wish that we were there, like, but I really like that it's not like an idealized version of
At
our
all.
humanity. It's just real life humanity. It's just
Yeah.
showing you
Yeah,
what it
it's
would have
just
been
a
like.
long form what if, and that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's really, but it reminded me, because like when I first started watching it, I kind of told Lindsay, like the way I envisioned it was like, oh, maybe this is kind of like the unofficial prequel to Star Trek.
Hmm.
And then life started being shitty on that show, but they were getting further technologically than we did.
Hmm.
And I was like, well, this doesn't feel like Star Trek. And then she reminded me, uh, World War III takes place before the events of Star Trek actually finally, before the humanity finally gets their shit together and starts like working. So I'm like, oh, no, yeah, I guess this does feel like the unofficial prequel to Star Trek. Like, never mind, we're good, So I kind of like looking at it through that lens, like, so
That's actually not a bad lens to look at the show through.
because that it has to be right. Eventually, at some point, our like these milestones in human history have to inspire more and more people, right? To
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
more with their
you're just
lives.
like a season away from aliens.
Yeah, right. Like if we actually get people once, not if, when we finally get people on Mars, I hope that we're a slightly more enlightened civilization than we were the minute before that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fingers crossed, because like we ain't getting to Mars unless we're working together.
It's not until you have been through this pandemic where you begin to really like fully understand the depths of mass stupidity,
Yeah,
right?
it's
And
fair.
it's funny because I see, when people criticize like entertainment in particular because a character is stupid, right? Because this is stupid. And I said, you've made 20 stupid fucking decisions today alone, sir. You see stupid happen all around you constantly. Running lights, going too fast, doing dumb things like, people shoplifting or whatever. You see stupid is such a part of reality. Like, why isn't it part of our entertainment? Like, what is it about you, like Monday morning quarterbacking like a plot because this character did something that was stupid? You're stupid. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Dumbass.
that's Reservation Dogs in a nutshell, right there, man.
Shit ass.
Like,
Is
there's,
it?
oh
Okay.
man, that's people doing stupid shit in real life, and like,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
it's
that little the Amber Midthunder episode
yeah,
when
man.
she's like, "Oh, I'm doing a documentary on city Indian kids who will never get out of their situation." And then the kids proceed to tell her all the dumb shit they do. She's like, "Oh yeah, you should send me like footage of that. That'll go great in my movie."
Yeah, it's you. If you haven't watched that show, Travis, you need to watch it.
It's
It's
native Atlanta.
it's produced by Taika Waititi.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah.
that kind of okay.
It's not like he's not like heavily involved, I don't think, but
Does it look like it has his Old Bay seasoning on it?
it feels like it has the seasoning of, let's get a lot of representation out there
Mhm.
doing really cool, normal, real world shit that just makes you laugh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
funny.
it's highly relatable.
It's highly relatable, even though like
Okay.
it's an entirely Native American cast.
Sure.
So like,
Okay.
for anybody who's never understood the Native American experience, this is
Modern
like
day.
yeah, modern day Native American experience. This is a window into that you're like, oh yeah, they're definitely not that different from us, but
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
it's really cool. It's a very
Okay.
cool show. That's on Hulu.
It sounds
It's
legit. Yeah.
super funny.
Okay. Yeah, I got 2 episodes. I don't know how I fell behind of What We Do in the Shadows to watch.
Yeah, they run on the same night every week.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
And like seriously for a second, right? Like shout out to FX. When do they miss?
Well, because Reservation Dogs, is it a Hulu original or is it an FX show?
It's FX. You get the FX
Yeah,
logo.
FX. No, they never miss. They don't miss.
FX is like
No, you know when they miss? They Why the Last Man?
yeah.
That's when they missed.
Damn.
And that sucked. That made me sad.
Yeah.
But most of the time they don't
Damn.
miss.
Damn.
But I
like
still
you really
I-
hit like where it hurts there. Like, ooh.
But you
Like,
know
I
how
was
we were
like, when
shaming.
did they yeah. Oh shit.
You know how we were shaming Ricky for not watching Rings of Power?
Uh-huh.
I bet you since the last time you've been on the show, you still haven't watched fucking Legion.
Ew. I was like, I just need to get through. I just
I knew you haven't watched it. I could just see it in your
The
eyes.
shame.
The shame. He comes on my show to start talking about all the awesome FX shows.
oh god.
And he won't watch the
This
one.
is the worst scenario right here.
My thing about Legion, and like this is my thing about like why I'm so excited about the future of the MCU, is the X-Men is just like some of the best shit in Marvel.
Absolutely.
It just really is. And so what I think's so cool about the X-Men is that you can just fucking tell a Legion story just in vacuum.
Yeah.
Like just a Legion story. And that's more compelling than like 90% of comic book characters. It's pretty cool. And so when that show finally pulls the curtain back and is like, oh, wait, you thought we were in vacuum? And you're like, oh, shit. Is this actually related to X-Men stories? And then you're like, well, this is one of the best things ever. You need to watch Legion.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Right.
It's really cool. I don't know about that other show, The Gifted or whatever. I couldn't watch that one.
I knew it, huh? I just knew it. I was like, if I could just slide out of here into this
You
night.
can't do it. You can't do
About
it.
Legion. Oh, it would have been such a victory. I was so like, come on, Travis, you can do it. You can do
What
it.
about Rick and Morty? Are you caught up on that?
I am 1 episode behind.
Okay, there's only been 2 episodes so
Yeah.
far. Ricky, have you watched it?
No, what's even on? Is it on HBO?
But the
Adult
debut
Swim.
episode,
Don't have it.
like
What was that?
the debut episode,
Oh my god.
I need to watch it again.
That episode
Because I
hurt
was
my
like-
fucking brain.
It did. I was like, whoa.
If you think that's a whoa, just wait till the second episode.
Oh no.
The second episode, I will just tell you this. It is about Rick and Morty going back to Blips and Chips.
Oh no, I did see it. Then I am caught up.
Okay,
Like
you're caught up.
the fractured Morty.
And Morty decides to play Roy again. Like, who plays Roy once and then says, I'm going back? Do you remember Roy, Ricky?
It's like the life simulator, right?
Yeah, where he lived a full man's life and died because the carpets fell on him, right? In his old age.
Yes.
Oh my God. Why would you do that again? Like, he was super disoriented, right? Like, after he came out of that, he's like, where am I? Who am I? Who am I? And Rick had to explain what he just did. This is an episode where Roy is being played again. And you're like, I don't understand. I don't understand how we got here, but this is the lore of the universe. And I do absolutely understand how Roy works. So let's see what they do with this. And it's ridiculous, man. That episode is so ridiculous. I highly recommend that show. But
I was just like, oh my God, like I can't. Like whoa, like whoa, you know, and that's, I don't know. Okay, like you remember we were just talking about like who gets it, like who gets it at this level. I mean, you know, it's not a lot of people.
But they have so many toxic fans also.
Oh fuck them.
Yeah.
They have so
Well,
many
well, of course, because whenever you start
gatekeepers.
thinking about, you know, things at that level of complexity, or you know, or whatever, it just invites different theories,
I put them
right?
in the same camp. Like, I don't like Deadpool fans, and I don't like
Mhm.
Rick and Morty fans because I feel like there's just that grossness to it where they try to repeat the same jokes, but it's just not the same. It's the point of the joke is often lost when they try to reiterate it. So like the fandoms of both Deadpool and Rick and Morty are just something that I just do not want to associate with.
I get
It's
it.
funny.
I get it.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
I totally get it. That makes so much sense.
But it's so worth it, man. That show's so worth it.
It is, but you know, like there have been several Rick and Morty episodes where I just like, whoa, whoa. I'm not prepared to watch that again right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I was totally like, yo, if that's so, then then this, and
Mhm.
I need an aspirin.
Yeah. That was the first episode for sure. I have not
Yeah,
normally I watch them twice, like right away, just because I want to see it again.
yeah,
I have not gone back to the first episode of this season again because I'm like, I need to be in a good space to
yes,
rewatch that one. Like,
yes,
um, yeah,
yes,
it's a stressful one. Cool.
yeah.
Um, what else is you got going on that's exciting to you right now? I mean, we can end it when you want, but I'm just like
Uh,
I've reached my topics. I've hit all mine.
hmm. Have you seen what is it? The Imperfects?
I haven't watched it yet. We've seen the trailers for it, and we're like,
Imperfect.
is this CW ish? I can't tell.
The first episode was interesting enough that I'm gonna go back.
Okay,
Um,
that's the one where like somebody gets turned into a chupacabra,
yes, or was a chupacabra.
something like that.
Like,
Yeah,
is it
another
the
chick has
Chupacabra or is it just a
pheromones
creature?
that make you want to bang her. Another one is
Oh yeah, she's a
yeah,
succubus,
banshee.
right?
Is yeah, and so it's a banshee, a chupacabra, a succubus, and um, I don't know what the other dude is yet, but that's the client. That's like the bridge into the second episode because they thought he was dead and now he's not. There's some shit, you know, but it's actually pretty interesting, you
All
know.
right,
So
I'll consider it.
I
I'll consider it when you watch fucking Legion.
knew that was coming. So you watch that dumb shit.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
Quid pro
much,
quo.
Travis.
So all right, here's a good topic. You probably spoke about it already. Is Superman and Black Adam?
No,
Is he in Black Adam?
they don't know who Superman is.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute for myself for a minute. I'll be right back, but I can still hear you.
I don't think Warner Brothers knows who their Superman is at this point in time. And I don't think you tease it, right? Like the play with that movie is to have Shazam. Like I know people want the Superman pairing, but I just don't think you get it. Like you're not gonna. I know The Rock wants it by all means, but it just seems to me like that makes so much more sense to do a Shazam Black Adam before you get a Black Adam Superman.
I don't know. I think he's going to be in it. I think Warner Brothers really needs it. They cut Batgirl, right? They've got this Flash fucking fiasco. They got to do something in their cinematic universe that makes some sense, and to keep your boy, the Man of Steel, like on the sidelines like this, like doesn't make sense at all. And nothing would show people, the faithful, that Warner Brothers believes in Superman again, much like having Cavill in this movie, because let's face it, it's super heroic. I think that when I look at that trailer, you've got Dr. Fate like being his normal badass Atom Smasher, like Cyclone. You like it from a spectacle standpoint. I mean, it's all there, right? And what better spectacle than Superman to be in that movie?
I want to believe it. I want to believe he's there, but I don't have a lot of faith in Warner Brothers lately.
Has
your faith been? I mean, is it on the decline?
It was on the rise from Peacemaker.
Okay.
The Batman was okay to me. We've had this conversation before.
Yeah, sure.
And then
yeah.
I'm not crazy.
Okay.
Good movie.
It's a good movie. I don't think it's a great movie.
Sure. I understand. You're crazy. Okay, go ahead.
And then they haven't given us a lot else this year other than Harley Quinn. They were supposed to give us a lot of things.
Some other things happened.
Yeah, like I mean, you know what though? I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them for cutting content, right? If it sucks,
I know.
Just let it go.
Yeah,
and people talk about like, oh, this Batgirl movie was good and all this. No, it wasn't. It wasn't because they wouldn't have done it, and we all know it. Okay, don't get to the Trump level of cognitive dissonance about like reality.
The Occam's razor, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
They didn't really because shitty. It's probably shitty. Like
yeah.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't need to be nefarious.
Real.
But it's a lot of other things that are happening right now. Like, right, it's not just Batgirl, right?
It's one.
It's a Flash. Layer. It's a. Where's
dude's just crazy.
That's putting it mildly. See, I'm kind of offended now that in no less than 5 minutes you've called that guy crazy and me crazy.
Well, let's face it. I mean,
I feel like that word means.
I know they're
You did try to run me over.
I don't think that makes me crazy.
Oh, okay.
I think that makes me a hero in my own story.
Yeah, AKA
Ezra.
Crazy.
My cousin.
Okay. Yeah. I mean.
No, but I don't think it's just him, right?
I mean, seriously, like
it's not just him.
I mean, DC has been, they've made some interesting, moves. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'm highly interested, like, in what a musical Joker would be, because I honestly I can't stand most musicals.
Did you like the Joker?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, as a, but you know,
It's very much
I
its
like
own
the
thing.
Joker. I like the Joker as a movie, but it's not Joker.
That.
Yeah.
That.
I'll
I
agree to
100%
that
that.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think I took offense to it because it was called Joker.
Mhm.
Like, if it was called Raging Bull, you know what I mean? Like,
But I don't mind. I don't.
or Taxi Driver.
It's sort of like it's sort of like. I make these food references a lot when it comes to entertainment because it fits so perfectly.
Or because you're hungry.
Like when they say, "Hey, I want to make this dish," and say it's like a taco, right? But instead they have this cheese that they made the taco shell out of, like the shavings or angel hair pasta, and and it's well, it looks like a taco,
This Nickelodeon ass food you're talking about.
but you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
when they elevate it,
Yeah.
right? And so this is Joker elevated.
Well, yeah, it had the
You see what
Oscar
I'm saying?
bait
So
flavor
it
on it.
tastes like Joker.
Yeah.
It ain't Joker, right? And so, to me,
You mean it looks like Joker, but it doesn't
sort of,
taste like.
yeah, it's sort of pretend. It's sort of, or not completely. Maybe it's completely pretentious.
It is.
It really is,
It's super pretentious.
because you could have just said Joe Schmo, but instead you decided to sort of. It's also cheating. It's also intellectually cheating.
Like,
Right?
he
Like,
thought that he knew
that's,
how to
you're
tell that
going
story better.
the whole time. But
That's
I'll
what I
watch
don't
it.
like
I
about
mean,
it.
it got people to watch it.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
That movie made some money.
A lot.
I'm not
It-
justifying it, but I mean you see the through line
Is
there.
that cheating?
I feel like it's cheating though, because like, what is a Joker without a Batman? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's it doesn't. There's not
It's Harley Quinn season 4.
a Joker without Batman.
Yeah, he's kind of
No.
on his own thing.
No.
I just it's funny because it is like, it's like picking someone, like picking the other picker's pockets. It's like the easiest thing to do in the DC universe is to be Batman, and next to that is be Batman adjacent, right?
Mhm.
And so that was the, intellectually sort of picking, like the pockets of the pickpockets
Yeah.
to make this movie. So I mean, I can see why you kind of.
It's like if they announced, like, before ever introducing the character officially into the MCU, there's like, guess what, guys? We're gonna do the Green Goblin, directed by, I don't know, the guy who did the piano. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is why would you put the Green Goblin in a movie by himself and Tom Holland's not in it? Is that what you're telling me? Like,
you're basically describing Morbius, Craven.
That is exactly
Madam
what
Web.
I'm doing. I'm describing all of Sony's Spider-Man movies that don't make freaking sense without the context. I got Lindsay to watch that movie, and she liked the special effects, but that's about it. Like,
a good-looking vampire-ish
sure.
thing.
Yeah, but she was really just like super confused when it got to the end and the Vulture shows up. And you're like, what is fucking happening here? And I'm like, I don't know.
I think it has something to do with Spider-Man.
Yeah. That is so fucking bad.
Couldn't
Like
fucking
that.
afford Michael Keaton.
Like, and you could tell that Michael Keaton and Jared Leto weren't even in the room together when that scene got filmed too. They are easily not there together, and they're just responding to each other without knowing who the hell's talking or what's talking.
Yeah.
It's so gross. But that to me is like I mean, yes, the Joker was a good movie on its own merits. If you didn't care about the Batman's lore at all, it is a good movie. It's a bad movie called Joker. Like that's the problem I have.
If you're
pockets, but
loop it back around, if you're a Warner Brothers exec, are you more excited about Black Adam fighting Superman or Superman fighting The Rock? I think those are two different things.
Not now. They're not. Now they're the same fucking thing.
mm-hmm.
It's a combo, and that's what they did right.
Mhm.
They made Black Adam a character that you may have never heard of before, but you will absolutely care about now because The Rock.
Yep.
Like that's a thing that Marvel was trying to do with Iron Man and the Hulk when they first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Was they're like, we don't have a lot of money, but we're gonna get two really talented actors to play these parts.
Yep.
and hope that they carry it, you know?
Sure, they're
And we're
50-50.
really lucky that 50-50 was enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Robert Downey was so fucking good as Iron Man that he carried the entire fucking thing on his back, and they said, bye, Ed Norton, we don't need your ass, you know?
Yep.
Like those two were supposed to be the founding partners of the MCU. And yeah, so I get it. So I get like it's beautiful casting, you know. To an extent, it's even what they did with Shazam, right? Like I think
Yeah.
I think
Levi.
Zach Levi is a really charming dude, and he has his own fan base. You know what I mean?
I enjoy
like,
him as Shazam like so
yeah,
much.
I think he's great in that movie. So
yeah, I can't wait for the second movie.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
You know, pick your battles, right? Like Henry Cavill was an unknown, but they really believed in him at the time, and so and he proved people wrong, right? Like people like him as Superman even if they don't like his movies. They still that's how good he is at wearing that suit, that even they can forgive all of the movies he's been in if they can get to one more with him. Yeah, and so that's cool, but like you can't do that every time. You have to have some people that are just an established, like known quantity, you know. So I think, yeah,
I can like the Snyderverse version of him cemented it for me. Like, you know, when he just looks at Homeboy's axe and just goes, freezes it and goes, pow. You know,
when he looks at the Flash, when he wakens up,
awakens. Like, yo, that's Kal-El. I mean, and he is my favorite Superman. Like, by far. And I think a lot of it has to do with, like, in The Man of Steel was the first time I had ever seen in a movie Kryptonian level strength done exceptionally well, right? Like mid-air impacts, you know, with people that you like felt on a visceral level happened in that film. Or when he's mixing it up on the ground with Nan, and you know he punches him and he sinks into the ground. Like you see it, it's almost like a Looney Tunes thing almost, because it's like boom, you know, and I'm like, holy shit, that must have hurted, right? Like I can't even imagine that power, right? And so what's also awesome about that whole thing is, damn if they didn't show you that Black Adam got it going on just like that in the movie.
Yeah.
Like I can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that.
I do feel like that's like the only thing outside of a Superman that has a chance of of really entertaining me in a versus fight with Black Adam is Dr. Fate. Like,
Yeah.
oh man,
Yeah.
I want to see Dr. Fate just Dr. Fate it up. You know what I mean? Because like,
Because he's more powerful than Doctor Strange.
yeah,
You know?
he's a god. He's a god,
Yeah,
right?
he's a god.
Yeah. And Dr. Fate just trips me out because he's just I love watching him in any story that I see him in, but I just cannot relate to this character. I'm like, you're on another level, and I'm just impressed. It like Doctor Strange, where I'm impressed by, I'm in awe of what you can do as a, what not what you can do, what your writers are capable of creating for you to do. You know what I mean? Like
and to me, The Rock and Dr. Fate are like chef's kiss of casting as far as I'm concerned. Like
Pierce Brosnan, yeah, that's, you could do a lot worse than Pierce Brosnan.
Like looking at him, I was like, oh yeah, that's him.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I'm excited about that.
I'm very excited about that movie, but I'm still reserving like the tiniest bit. Like, I don't want to give my heart to that movie in advance too early, and then get just like.
I got a free ticket, so I know I'm watching it.
I know I'm watching it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch it in theaters. It'll be the first time I've gone to theaters in months. But I'm still skeptical. I'm still like waiting. There's a lot of things, just like that Little Mermaid movie. No, I'm just kidding.
I might do I might do the theater again for Avatar.
Rent the theater.
Yeah, for Avatar.
Okay, yeah. If you do that, and then you watch the movie before, I'm gonna buy all the desserts on your tab.
You could have got a dessert. It was all on my tab.
I know, but I'm saying I'm gonna get extra ones. This man invited us to go watch The Matrix, whatever, Revolutions, and he was super excited about it. And it was really weird because we were gonna watch it like 4 days after it came out for free on HBO Max. And I'm like, what's stopping me from just watching this on TV right now? And I was like, nah, you know what? I'm going to watch it for the first time with Travis and all of his people. And then only to find out, he's like, damn, I watched it. I loved it. I'm like, so why am I waiting now? Why am I waiting for 3 more days? And then I did, and I watched it. And you know what? I did not like that movie. I did not like that movie. I liked the food, though. It was good. So I would definitely appreciate a do-over with Avatar, because I'm pretty sure that
you're gonna get your money's worth with the
that
food
will be
there.
much better. Much better.
Oh.
There's no way Avatar is worse than that movie.
I know what happens in Avatar too.
I know you do. I know. But you didn't watch it all. That's different.
Well, it is rawest form.
Yeah, I know. That is not the same thing.
You haven't seen the.
As a former tester, it is not the same thing.
But I've seen some finished shots. Damn. Like, damn.
Well, they said they were finished, and then they're like, "Nah, we'll tweak that more for the next year."
I'm telling you, like, yeah, crazy. And I think you'll have the feels.
I think I will, as long as you didn't watch the damn movie beforehand. 4 days before.
I have.
Not the same thing.
Are you gonna go watch Avatar in theaters again, though? The re-release, or?
You know what? Something tells me that they're probably going to do the trailer there as well. And I say that because You've got
They didn't do it at D23, did they?
no.
A new trailer? No.
Mm.
They showed some more of the game or the games that are coming out.
Did you go?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just all of it was online. All of the
yeah.
stuff you could watch a bunch of it.
Except not those things. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sort of in the dark about the whole Ubisoft thing at this point. Like, it's going to be interesting what their strategy is for like releasing it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it you know, I expected to see something, but yeah,
They're on Cameron's time, right?
yeah,
They're on Disney's time.
No.
They're on Disney's time is what they're on.
If this movie doesn't make money, then they're on Disney's time. But I think he gets a pass.
Absolute certainty that this is gonna make its money. Like it is so written in the stars.
Did it cost less than Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Did it really?
The Ring of Power? Rings of Power is like one of the most expensive things ever made, period.
I know. Well, if you got to lump up, because Avatar they did all 4 back-to-back or 3 back-to-back, right? The next 3 are back-to-back.
2 back-to-backs.
I still doubt they spent $750 million on it.
That man went to the bottom of the ocean. I don't know how expensive that is.
It's expensive.
Does not go to the bottom of the
There are submarines on that accounting slip.
That's a whole different project.
Taking notes down there.
That's just his hobby. He just loves doing that anyways.
I think, like I said, I'm tempted to go back to see the original, just because it's in 4K.
Still looks good.
I don't need to see Jake Sully like wheelchair fantasy shit. I'm still bitter about that. Must be nice, Jake Sully.
It's 4K. It's HDR.
How to support Sam Worthington? That man hasn't worked in a long time.
My whole deal is that Avatar, at least to me, was the first movie that I saw that made 3D ubiquitous, to the experience, and wasn't like some.
Are you sure? Have you seen Clash of the Titans with Sam Worthington in real 3D?
Hold on, I got something for you. Okay. Hold on. It really is like, I felt like I was in Pandora.
Yeah.
Right. And so to see it in 4K with HDR is probably going to be as awesome as everyone thinks it should be. So.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't want to get COVID just for rewatching an old movie from 30 years ago. I'll just 20 years ago. 20? It's 20.
No.
It's 10.
No.
Yeah. Avatar
was 12 years ago.
Oh, wait. You're right. I was thinking of Titanic. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Still don't want to get COVID just for seeing that movie. Hey, in my circle of friends, I'm becoming one of the few that still hasn't gotten it somehow.
Me too.
So there you go.
Oh, you're gonna get it at Disney. That's it.
You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We play some bets. I'm getting my booster on Tuesday.
I went to Disney. Went with my manager, his friend, and hung out for a few hours. He had COVID, and I did not.
He had it when he went there?
He got tested, before he got on the plane. and he had COVID.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I guess it just happened. While I was hanging out with him, didn't have it at all.
It's quite possible we're invincible.
Yeah, this is your X-Men mutant gene. This is the one you got.
Oh man, if I'm Professor X,
you just got COVID immunity. That's your power.
You know what? Before, I don't know how soon we're gonna bail, but like, I want to do a little bit of bitching. I don't want to sound like an entitled Marvel fan, but man, our predictions for D23 were so off. Like,
well, everybody was expecting like fucking
X-Men,
all kinds of shocking shit to go down, and it was like sad trombone. Boom, boom,
I know, right? That's the Thunderbolts. That was your big thing. That Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
come on.
And
that's
so,
why I have to believe they're misdirecting us.
It's I don't know, man. I don't know.
I wanted a Giancarlo Esposito Professor X. I wanted to hear that Denzel was going to be Magneto. I wanted to hear that Anthony Starr was going to be Dracula in Blade.
Blade is next year. Blade is probably the one that doesn't make sense on why we haven't seen it.
They didn't say shit about Blade.
Yeah,
I know.
Like I'm like, what the fuck are you waiting for the Essence Festival?
We're talking about we're talking about Ricky? Thunderbolts before Blade.
Like Marvel's at the fucking Essence Festival or some shit. I don't know.
You got Black Panther. Once Black Panther's out, they'll talk about Blade.
They better. I need some Blade. See, this is just me being entitled for a minute, just because like I can't believe how many things we got wrong last week on our predictions.
It wasn't just us though. It's not like these were these are rumors and predictions, but it's not like they were. There were articles.
What did they announce that was new? Thunderbolts.
They announced Thunderbolts, which they already announced at Comic-Con.
They announced the cast.
Yeah.
They announced the cast, team. And they also said the guy who did Scarlet or WandaVision is directing Fantastic Four.
Right.
And then they had Daredevil and Wilson Fisk come out to say hi.
Werewolf by Night was
what's happening? Some shit you already knew.
Werewolf by Night was like the biggest surprise of the whole thing, right? But
me too. We surprised that they could get the fuck out of here,
even though we knew it was coming, right? Like we knew.
Out of here, fuck out of here.
Yeah, so it was weird.
Hairy fuck. I mean, seriously. That's like Ricky after like 2 months of not shaving.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? Basically, everything they revealed was less interesting than just going and watching an episode of She-Hulk.
Yes,
that's a bummer.
Yes.
I mean, maybe they're just playing it super close, right? Like you just want to.
Yeah, I want to believe they are. I like.
What do we gain by knowing the cast this early?
Don't get me wrong. Like here's the thing.
Fantastic Four or X-Men.
What do you get? What are you talking about? You get more bitching online. That's what you get.
Yeah. So like if I'm casted in that movie,
come on, dummy. Like,
do they need it?
No, you don't.
I still
need
say,
none of this shit,
dude. I remember last year.
Because we're gonna go see it anyway.
Last year, when Ricky was just constantly bitching about why do we still not have a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, and it just kept not coming, and not coming, and we got down to we were 4 weeks away from the movie, and he's like, "How do we not have a freaking trailer for this movie?" And I was like, "Dude, wouldn't it be cool if they just never released a trailer for it?" Because it's not like they don't think people are going to see it, right? Like, who's not going to go see Spider-Man No Way Home? You know? And I was so close. I think they got to 3.5 weeks out before they put that trailer out.
Close.
Right?
That's like I remember the Matrix Reloaded. All it was the date in the Matrix font and so on and so forth, and that was it, right? And I'm thinking that's some pretentious shit right there. You know what I'm saying? They say, bitches, you know what this is, and this is the date. See you ass there.
But I think, like, I'm not gonna say that every Marvel property could do that, but they could have done it with Spider-Man, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't have even hurt them at all, right? Like, especially after the movie that it was, right?
Yeah.
Word of mouth kept that movie going for weeks and weeks and weeks, like, so yeah, it just didn't need the trailers. It didn't need them at all. Like, so
No.
so I don't know that, like, I'm saying that I need these things really from Marvel. I'm just quite surprised that that's the experience that they got people to pay for to go to D23, right? Like Clark was telling me, people were waiting from 2 a.m. to get into that panel. And, like, that's what you got for that panel? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. That
There's
felt.
some exclusive footage with some of the movies, but
I'm done watching trailers for movies that I'm gonna absolutely go see, though. You know what I mean?
Not
Like,
me. I want to see all that shit.
yeah,
no, I'm saying, like, I'm not gonna pay to go see a trailer, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay. Do you know how much they charge for D23? That's so
Yeah.
much money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna pay that just to go sit in a room like that I had to wait since 2 a.m. to get into, just to watch a fucking trailer.
I'll still do it.
I agree with you there. That is the bounds of fanatical.
Yeah.
And I'm just not with it. Not at that level.
It's like, I would rather see
I'll
the
wait.
trailer. I would rather see the trailer for the thing that I didn't know about that I now want to see. Like,
Yeah.
for me, that was the first time I ever saw the trailer for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I was like, what is this movie and when are we seeing it? So that's what I enjoy about
Hey,
trailers.
Ricky, have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Nope.
Okay, I just wanted to, like, Legion shame you.
Yeah.
I want to see it, but I gotta find the time.
He wants Top Gun Maverick to be the best movie of the year.
Who?
Ricky
Me.
does.
Yeah.
But what are they attacking? What country?
It's just a country.
Which one, though?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It's about the plane.
No. Like, who
It
dares
is.
do this?
You know when you were talking about Skyrim earlier today, about how like it's the most generic version of like a fantasy story. That is fucking Top Gun Maverick. Are the parts where he's,
is what I'm saying.
Are the parts where he's flying the plane fucking amazing? Yes.
Yeah.
They are amazing.
Yeah.
But the plot of that movie is
So
the
good.
most generic fucking thing everywhere.
Yeah. It's like it's a sugar cookie.
Mm-hmm.
It is quite the shoot. So, like, the fact that we even have to compare Everything Everywhere All at Once to this one because you won't let this leave your pedestal is insulting.
It will.
And Ricky,
I plan to watch it.
Here's a secret. Every cookie is a sugar cookie.
But I'm diabetic, so.
No, you're not.
It's just full of shit.
That's true. Now I feel like a horse in the sparrow.
So you guys are the horse. They feed you, and then I get the scraps. So there you go.
I see. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how much longer I can keep shaming Ricky.
That's okay.
I'm gonna have to call it for the night. But I did appreciate you hanging out with us.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll try to be
what, better?
No, I'm not gonna try to be better.
Okay, I was about to say
I was trying to decide. I was like, we'll try to have you back soon, or I was like, or do we want to have you back specifically for like a thing that'll happen in November, or do we want to have you back for Black Adam? I don't know.
Black Adam, Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther is probably going to be a good one.
Yeah. I'll just get a cast of all white people to talk about what they didn't like about Black Panther.
Yeah, we have to balance the shows out. For
Yeah.
sure.
I'll make sure to review bomb that with as many.
We'll talk about the Little Mermaid on that one too.
Yeah.
That's the other one, by the way. I get people on TikTok just hating She-Hulk, and then I get all the people that are actually having to explain why it's wrong to be upset about the Little Mermaid being black. And I'm like, why do we have to explain this to anyone? And it's because the world is dumb.
Because what?
Yeah, they're all stupid.
Thank
but
you.
But the thing is like, why is it on my TikTok?
Well,
again, you're being radicalized, man.
Okay, hey, man, there's some self-examination you need to go through there.
For every 10 of those videos, I bet you're like, for one of them,
okay,
I kind of agree with this point.
Somewhere
deep inside.
No.
Yeah,
I'm getting the videos. I'm getting the videos explaining why it's wrong to shame Disney for it.
Listen, Dennis, I think that you're double clicking. Right? That's what's happening. You're not strolling like the rest of us. Okay, where you go, damn, that's fucked up.
Have you seen my hands?
And then you just go to the next one. No, you're like, that's fucked up. Click, clickety clack. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And now you are here to reap the whirlwind. Party on.
I'm just saying.
Party on.
Tomorrow, when you turn on TikTok, enjoy all the new videos inspired by this conversation today. Because it will happen. That I promise you. And it's gonna be scary at first. But then you'll just keep scrolling and you'll be like, whatever, it's fucking funny. It's funny. And that's gonna happen to every single one of our special audience members that hasn't shown up yet, but will when they watch this. Their TikTok's gonna do the same thing.
Oh no.
Yes.
Martin.
With that, I think I'm gonna go.
All right, y'all.
All right. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks everybody for watching. And yeah, we'll do this again every week that we can. All right, later, guys.
See ya.
Wait, you're gonna play the thing.